to work on innovative experiments and help to enable NASA's long-term human exploration plans.
Now, directly ahead of us is one of our crawler transporters. It's got one of the 3 original mobile launch platforms on top of it. But before we get to the crawler, I'm going to point out some things I think you'll find of more significance. First of all, I'm going to pull off here. I got somebody behind me that gets paid by the hour. Directly ahead of the bus, the 4 rods that you see there, this is an N.A.S.A launch pad. Countless numbers of satellites have left from that pad, and we had one scheduled for this Friday, but it has been moved up to Sunday. So if you're anywhere in the area, you might want to put that in your notepad that Sunday will be the N.A.S.A launch from this pad directly ahead of us. Now look at this opening to the right, the 4 rods that you see there. This is the complex of SpaceX. SpaceX is one of a half a dozen companies taking over the shuttle responsibilities. And if you keep looking off to the right, you'll see our 3rd active launch pad, which is our Delta pad right there. We had one of those go off a week ago. Now over here on the left is one of our crawlers, CT-1. It's got an MLP number 2 on the top. 6 million pounds of crawler, 9 million pounds of mobile launch platform, and that's exactly how we get our rockets and launch pad minus the rockets. Now you folks on the other side of the bus will be coming back this way, and you'll have a great view of getting some pictures if you so desire to do that. We'll be making a loop up here pretty soon. Now we're going to be heading out to Pad A first. That's our first go around. Now 2 years ago in March, this pad was leased out to the SpaceX Corporation on a 20-year lease. They are modifying this pad as I speak to suit what they call their Falcon Heavy. Now their Falcon Heavy, its overall mission is to go to Mars. They're going to accomplish this by strapping 20 rockets to a vertical position for launch. In fact, the strong backer, the erector, is sitting right at the top of that incline. Now the launch pad itself off to the left. Now this is still in the same configuration as it was during our shuttle era, but it is changing as I speak. And I'll tell you more about that in a minute. You look straight ahead here, you notice this white object here with the blue tips. This is a cradle. Now for those of you unfamiliar with SpaceX, they have been successful 6 times now in bringing their first stage rocket back to Earth. 4 times on the drone barge out of the ocean, 2 times at Pad 13 at Cape Canaveral. This is how they transport that first stage rocket. The vehicle that it is sitting on is called a Ferrari. Now this is a 2 mile per hour, 76-wheeled Ferrari. It was a gift from Enzo Ferrari during the shuttle program because he was a great fan of the shuttle, and we have donated it to SpaceX for their endeavors. We have no more use for it with the retirement of our shuttles. Now let me tell you about the launch pad as you look off to the left. The part that is closest to us, which is a little shorter than the other one, this is called, as well as NASA has no more need for it, so they're taking it down a little bit at a time. Now they can still do launches with it there, obviously, but they will be getting it down by early next year. Now the other part with the lightning mast on the top, this is called the fixed surface structure, and this is what SpaceX is modifying right now for their Falcon Heavy rocket. Now what's interesting about that structure is that it was originally built for the Saturn V moon rocket, modified for the shuttle program, and now it's being modified once again for SpaceX. And they're going to enclose that eventually, the whole thing. Now, make a mental note of that water tower that you see to the right of the launch pad, because this is part of our launch technology, and I'll tell you about it when we get out to Pad B. There's one out there also. Right, the Delta pad and the Atlas pad, this is a partnership between Lockheed Martin and Boeing. They call themselves, give us the capability, once again, of taking our own astronauts up and back from the space station. We do not have that capability right now since the retirement of our shuttles. Now the Starliner should be flying in mid-2018. SpaceX has their own version of an astronaut capsule. Alright, going to head out here to Pad 39B. First thing you notice about Pad B, I guess, are the 600-foot tall lightning arresters, taller than the vehicle assembly building. Now, the way it's called a clean pad, which means that when it's finished, it's going to be totally ready for anybody's type of rocket. All you'll need is a mobile launch platform to get the rocket out there. Total versatility. Now, this is one of our pads of the future. There are, let's go check it out. I'll tell you what you're looking at.
Nowhere else on N.A.S.A is preparation for the future as obvious as at Launch Pad 39B. Built as an identical pad to 39A for the Apollo Saturn.
It is not smoke that you see at launch time, it is steam. 16 seconds before the launch, they'll begin to release all 400,000 gallons of that water on the top of the platform. And that is not to cool anything as you would think. That is for sound suppression. Otherwise, our shuttles and rockets, they would vibrate to pieces from the sound of their own engines before they got past these lightning masts right here. Now, the second loudest entity on Earth, next to an atomic bomb, is a shuttle launch or rocket launch. We had to lower the decibels. Now, it goes from 186 decibels plus down to 142. They found that 142 decibels was the acceptable level, where the heat tiles on the shuttle would not have been vibrated off at launch, and the attaching components on the heavy lift rockets would not be compromised. Now, if for some insane reason you thought you had to be out here for that rocket launch, well, that's good luck with that, my friend. That's all I can tell you. Because 142 decibels would still kill you. The vibration that your body would feel would first of all stop your heart from beating, and then your brain would turn to mush. Either way, it's not a good scenario. The closest you can be is the Launch Control Center. It's 3.5 miles from Pad A and about 4.2 miles from Pad B. Now, this is usually a pretty good gator hole right here. Looking around, not seeing much here going on. Quite surprised on that one. All right, we got a little guy right here. So you folks on the other side of the bus get a view right here in the culvert, right sitting here at this side. You want to check him out? It's a little guy. That's not even a wallet right there, folks. So, but he looks pretty friendly. You know, for a small fee in advance, you can get out to pet that little gator right there. That's all right. Nobody running up front. Can you what? Yes, I said you may. When the bus is stopped, you can stand up. Go ahead. That's where I'm stopped here. Yeah. Now, I will tell you a little story. If you notice this building back here, there's a set of double doors right in the middle. It's operated by an electric eye, just like you go to Walmart or something. The doors will slide open for you. Yeah, well, they used to be operated by an electric eye until somebody forgot to turn it off one night, and they came to work in the morning. It's a 13-foot alligator inside the building. He walked right up the electric eye, the doors opened up, and he let himself in. And I will tell you a little bit about the size of alligators. If you see his nose, from the tip of his nose back to his eyeballs, if it's like 4 inches between that area, then you've got a 4-foot alligator. If it's 6 inches between the nose and the eyeballs, then it's a 6-foot alligator, etc., etc. That's how you can tell how big your gator is. He could just have his head popped up here out of the water, and you would know how big he was. So you don't know if you want to go wrestle him or just say hello to him and go along. Okay. Now, over here on the left, these are the flame deflectors that came out of Pad 39A, and you're going to be able to see what over 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit did on the last shuttle launch we had at Pad 39A, which was the launch of the Atlantis STS-135. Now, SpaceX has no need for these deflectors here. They're doing it a different way. And there's nothing wrong with these plates either. They're out here being refurbished. They're going to be put back in this pad right here on a different angle for the new rocket program. Now, these are the upper plates. The lower plates are still in the pad here. There's nothing wrong with them. There we go. Okay, I've got another video here. What you're going to see here is a simulation, basically, on how we're going to get back into deep space with the new SLS program. So enjoy this on our trip.